Good afternoon, gamers. It is me. Let's see. Alright, let's make sure everything is all... Oh, I think that's a little bit too high. Oh, no, it's still a little too much. There, I think. There we go. I should probably just keep it in the same position, but I don't. So, well, rip, I guess. Let me just sort out. Music is on. Should probably update Spotify, but whatever. I'll do that later. Right. So where we are at the moment is we are working on the Mystic some more. That is the plan, at least. Just tilt that down a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Okay, right. So the right angle now. Got me. Had sort of a slow day's worth. I was like, I'm gonna do a shitload of work today, and I've just not done enough at all. But that one, gonna like need to get that shit on lock. But alas, all is well. We had a long stream last week. I think we went for at least an extra hour and a bit, hour and a half, I think. And we'll be going to normal time today, so we won't have quite as much time to do stuff. We won't get quite as much done either, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Basically, last time we made a shit ton of powers. We made 2 Pathoturgy powers, which we hadn't made any of prior. Made Hypnosis and Telepathy. We also made Precognition, I think was the first thing we did. I think those were the 3 powers that we made. I don't think we made any other powers. Correction, no, we made Psychoportation. I didn't completely finish it because I've left this little bit for myself here, but I'll probably do that in my own time once we're done. But yeah, we also fucked around with higher level features, namely squaring off sort of low level improvement features, defining our dead levels, and yeah, the only thing left to do is an 18th level feature. That's the only thing that is left on this list of things to do, which is nice. Okay, right. So I'm trying to think of where to start, because we have basically 4 more powers left to make and a class feature. I don't know what that class feature is yet. I've not decided. I don't know. And the 4 more powers are all defined as to what they are. Those are mental projection, which I've not decided yet. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means necessarily. There is mental mirage and soul shaping or emotion shaping. The name's probably going to change. I think that's a stupid name. But yeah, those are the 2 Pathoturgy ones. I'm thinking mental mirage is definitely going to be one I do today. And then psychometabolism is the last is strength enhancement. Again, don't know exactly what that means. We're going to work it out. You know what? I'm going to start with strength enhancement, because why the fuck not? You can fuel your muscles, your body, your bones and your muscles with raw psychic power, enhancing their power and durability. Sure, whatever. Like, a lot of this flavor text is going to get retooled when I eventually go back through this in my own time, but, you know, as it stands at the moment, that's fine, right? It's not a problem. So, strength enhancement. A very weird rumbling noise. I think it was a motorbike, like a very distant motor. I don't think it was loud enough to pick up on the mic, but it was a very odd sound. Right. Novice. You are a novice in strength enhancement. You gain the following benefits. Psi-powered build, so you get powerful build. You know, it's like a little fluff thing. Like it's, I really like it. Okay. Has one size larger. Let me just go nab this text right from Goliath or Orc. I know Goliath gets it. I don't know if Orc gets it. I would assume they do. I probably wouldn't have used determining, or yeah, I probably wouldn't have got it exactly right, but that's how it stands at the time. I was doing alright. Oh, fuck's sake, why is it so bloody bright back there? I swear to God, every time. I feel like I did fill up this water bottle, good. I'm very thirsty this afternoon, and I've just started talking a lot, so... Oh. Yeah, it's much better. Oh. Okay, so, what else can strength enhancement get you? That's the question. Ooh. Ooh, I know. Psychic Strike. Instead, target a creature within 5 feet of you. You may instead... No, roll d10s. No, roll d12s. No, just d10s rather than d8s. For the damage of your Psychic Blast. Oh. Now, there is something else I need to do. Is energy projection. Psychic plus 2. Oh, okay, right. I was Ooh, see that makes it weird. Greetings, welcome in. Yeah, I don't think it should scale with your. I think the problem is because energy projection is, you know, like Yeah, I honestly, I think this is cool, but I'm not gonna do it because I think it like overlaps with energy projection too much in like a weird way, and there'd be a lot of wording shifts I'd have to do to make it make sense. Or to make it interact with energy projection properly, and I don't really want to do that because that seems annoying. Right. Because one side is like, so maybe I guess it can be powerful blast. Whenever you use your psychic blast feature. Instead of a ranged psionic attack. In this way. That's pretty powerful, actually. Like, certainly, I think the prone thing is really fucking strong. Arguably too strong. I'm gonna take that away for now. Or be pushed up to 10 feet away from you. Or pulled up to 10 feet closer to you. So you can, like, send out your psychic blast and it pulls them in or pushes them away. Which is cool, and it also adds a melee option, which means that you can, arguably speaking at least, the Chad move is like, oh god, my neck. Oh. The Chad move is taking weapon meta creation and picking like a great weapon thing. What are you Christing? Because I cracked my neck? Weak. See, it's never picked up on mic before. I do it all the time on stream and it never picks up. At least I don't think it does. Because I imagine you probably would have had that exact reaction if it had in the past. But yeah, the real Chad play is picking one of the melee weapon meta creations, and then using your bonus action, this requires you to be 5th level, to psychic blast someone closer to you and then stab them with your meta weapon. Which is really cool, so I'm on board with it. Right. Novice, Adept. You are an Adept in Strength Enhancement. You gain fine benefits. Use your intelligence modifier in place of your strength modifier for the strength checks. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the raid. welcome in, welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. It's much appreciated. Oh, I need to do the... I was like... there we go. Yes. Cow dance, crab dance. Oh, nice. Nice. See if my thing works. It does work. So yeah, I've recently gotten back into map making. I say it is pretty great. It's a shame they're not animated on the emote wall. It would be so good. Yeah, let's. I mean, there's another dance emote that we've missed out here, or two, in fact. There's curb dance and penguin dance, which are... Oh god, damn, he's ascending. He's gone to heaven. No, club penguin, teal penguin. No. Who will tend to your igloo now? Yeah, I recently got back into map making. I stopped doing it for a long time and just, well, I mean I did it, but I used Hexographer because I was like, I want something that takes me like 2 hours instead of 10 hours, you know. And I used to use Incarnate like a lot. I was on the beta test team for Incarnate like years ago. I tell the story all the time. There's like no further like, you know, exciting parts of that story, but I was on the beta team for Incarnate for a long time. And I recently got back into it, and yeah, it's I have missed it. It's quite good fun. I'm faffing around with it for a campaign I'm planning on running. I need to go check the wording, because this ability, I've used wording for this ability elsewhere before. I think it's in here. Yes, I say. Thank you very much for the raid, regardless. You can use intelligence instead of strength. Your strength ability checks, or when determining and when determining oh. Right. My main concern with doing strength enhancement was I was never, and I'm still not, like, never really certain exactly what it would entail without it just being like another, like, martial thing. Because we've got quite a few of those. Like, we've got energy projection, which is just, you know, spam psychic blast at people. And weapon meta creation, which is spam stabbing people. Or shooting people. But I'm not really sure what strength enhancement could possibly entail beyond he who use it for your strength saves, or your strength checks and your strength saves. I am starving. I am so hungry. I know why. I had a small lunch, but even so, like, I am so fucking hungry. It's ridiculous. Right, we need something else in here, but I have no clue what that's going to be for now, so we're just gonna kill that there just for the time being. Expert. You are an expert in strength enhancement. You gain the following benefits. There. Use intelligence to do your strength for your strength saves. So, if you get entangled, you're like, I'm too smart. I mean, it's not that. It's that your brain and your muscles, your you know, it's like, basically your mystic character is going, well, the brain is a muscle too, and mine is my strongest muscle, and that means I'm strong, and that's basically what it is. I'm going, me strong, and then they become strong. Become strong old lads. Strong old lads. Big strong boys. I mean, the boy part is not a prerequisite, but all of the synonyms for man are much funnier and dumber to say than the synonyms for girl. Like lass can work as a stupid joke, but I find that lad and boy and dude they're just inherently very silly sounding, and I really like them. Yeah, there's no further explanation, I just think they're funny. Everyone gets called my dude. My guy, my dude. Okay, right. I feel like we need a better name for this than Powerful Blast. It's a really shit name. Let me just red text the name. It's stupid. But it is improving here, so... let me just words here real fast just so I can red text the name here. Whenever you could choose to push or pull a creature with your melee psychic blast. Whenever a creature fails its strength saving throw against this feature, you may choose to knock it prone instead of pushing or pulling it. I feel like choose to is just you may. It's unnecessary text. Oh God, the caffeine is See, if I was good at my job, I would. But I am not. Yeah, so the I did consider doing something for the release of Fizz Buns, which is later on this year, but it's a really risky thing, because the thing I would want to do would be like, oh, look at these new extra dragons, but then I can feel 100% that AJ, the artist I work with a lot, I think she's in here, I'm not sure, would get halfway through drawing some sick, awesome dragons, and then the exact same dragons would get printed in Fizzbans. And I don't really want to have that experience. That sounds like it would suck. But yeah, I say yeah. If I was good at my job, then 100% I would, but I'm not, so I haven't. I don't have anything planned. It's because I had my roadmap for the year. That's true. I did do something for Van Richten's. I was a little late to it because I started writing it like a month before the book even came out. Yeah, I say I write my roadmap at the beginning of every year, like the stuff I want to do, and I was like, do I want to sideline doing the stuff I actually want to do for like forcing something that I don't necessarily care about, and it's just kind of a gamble anyway. And I was like, nah. I say that like it was a conscious decision, because it really wasn't, but I just didn't. I'm giving myself too much credit under the assumption that I put any thought into the things that I do beyond just going, I'm going to do this now, and then just doing it. But yeah, I say I am sort of coincidentally actually like potentially playing Wild Beyond the Witchlight now, which I'm very excited for, because I don't get to play the game like at all, and I especially don't get to play the game the way, or anywhere near the way that I would run it, which includes, and whilst I no, Spiritual Weapon does not target, so you wouldn't Spiritual Weapon doesn't target any creatures. I'll go read Twin Spell again real fast, but the target's only one creature. Yeah, so Spiritual Weapon does not target any creatures. It just makes a thing that can attack, which is not the spell itself targeting, it is the weapon. That's fine. Yeah, I'd say yeah. That is the explanation of how it works is any spell that theoretically can target multiple creatures or doesn't explicitly target a creature in its rules text cannot be twinned. Twinned is already the best meta magic. It doesn't need to be any better. Twinning Spiritual Weapon. Well, I suppose the wording of Spiritual Weapon would imply that if you made two of them, you'd only be able to command one at a time, so it would still be kind of shit. But even so, Twin Spell is the best meta magic, and it does not need to be any meta. I say that like the other meta magics are in any way competitive, and they just aren't. There's Quicken Spell, which you basically at level 1 you take Quicken Spell and you take Twin Spell, and unless you are playing a Nuka sorcerer, in which case you take Careful Spell instead of Twin Spell. And even then, why would you play a Nuka sorcerer? Sorcerers like barely get any spells. Your spell versatility will be basically 0. Sorcerer sucks. It's basically the takeaway. It's sad that Sorcerer is bad, but it is. There are ways to make it really great, but the fact that those are the exceptions and not the rule is kind of telling to Sorcerer being a problem class. Also that, yeah, like why like Careful Spell? Why would you Careful Spell when like the only place where Evocation Wizard falls short is when it's the Sculpt Spell is based on level. So if you have like 6 allies, your level 1 spell is gonna hit several of them. If you cast like a level 3 or 4 spell, then you'll probably be able to avoid all of them, but yeah, that's like the only point of like comparison, or the only point where Careful Spell is better. But Sculpt Spell is free, so ultimately Careful Spell could be 10 times better, but the fact that Sculpt Spell is free makes it just flat out just better. Because it doesn't matter, it's you know, it's like if you can pick up, you know, if you can pick up a shitty car for $10, right? You can just buy a piece of shit car, or you can go out and buy a new Ford Focus for however many, you know, $8,000, let's say. I don't know how much a new Ford Focus is. Probably more than that. Maybe less. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't own a car, nor do I have a license, so I don't know how much cars cost. I don't really care. All I know is the insurance is very expensive if you're English. Or maybe it is if you're American. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. But yeah, you have the choice between, like, do you buy the shit car that's worth that you paid basically nothing for, or do you buy the expensive car that's objectively better, but you pay a stupid amount of money for it? It's like, you take the one that's basically free. Especially when, in this instance, you're not choosing between a piece of shit car. You're choosing between a slightly worse car. You're choosing between, like, a 2021 Ford Focus and a 2018 Ford Focus, you know? This is a terrible analogy, but I'm gonna run with it. Basically, take stuff that is free is good. Is the very advanced, big brain take, you see. I'm gonna shut up now. Jesus. That went places. Oh, right. I'm gonna actually fucking work now. Okay. Sure thing. I'll take a gander. Sure thing. I say thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. See ya. Let me switch over to the screen real fast so I take a quick gander at this. Right, so int +2, medium, base 1 speed 30 feet, advantage on intelligence saving throws against magic. Well, I suppose that literally never comes up. Oh, this should be against spells and other magical effects, by the way. So... This is... yeah, that's okay. The dark vision should be further up. Should be up here somewhere. This is too loud. I need to turn this music down. There we go. Right. It was like the thumping of the bass, and it was getting to me. Or not getting to me, you know what I mean. Yeah, this ability is fine. This, in a vacuum, seems insane, but in reality, this is never going to come up, so it's fine. Yeah, the dark vision should be up here. Just shitting on Gulak, I see. That's a classic. It would certainly be what Joe would be saying if he's here, but he's away at the moment. Yeah, no, the telepathy is fine. I don't know if the wording is technically what it should be, but I don't know for sure. It feels like these guys should be hybrids. They should be hybrid, aberration, humanoid, but I don't know. I don't know. No, never mind. Ignore me. Gonna be and water elementals if you okay, it's fine. You can breathe both air and water again at swim speed of 30 feet. You get healing word, which is like okay. Ray of Frost, fine. Healing word is that is like, this is the best feature out of everything I've seen thus far. Just healing word on its own, just because it's the best spell in the game. It's the whole game is warped around Healing Word. Just because it's just that good. In my home game, I'm buffing Cure Wounds to be 2d like 2d4 as opposed to a d8. Like basically every healing spell in the game is getting buffed except Healing Word and Mass Healing Word, just because they're that good. They're just that good. They're just completely insane. So Deep Mind, Dancing Lights, Cause Fear, Blindness, Deafness. Yeah, all of those spells are fine. Climb Speed, that is a lot. A Climb Speed is functionally a fly speed. And on top of this, a race that gets all of this other stuff, I don't think they should be getting a climb speed. Like, it makes sense. And if you want, give them advantage on strength athletics checks to climb difficult surfaces. Like that's cool, go with that. But a climb speed at this level, or namely a climb speed on top of free spells, on top of telepathy, on top of like a damaging like Dragon Breath ability, on top of this, like it is too much. And also, if they're under Dark Dwelling, should they not get Superior Dark Vision? Just as like a flavor thing. Like, obviously, Superior Dark Vision is not really a big thing. Like, it doesn't necessarily count towards power. But I would argue they should definitely get. Definitely get something like that. Force Mind Psionics. Do not require verbal or... I mean, for this, it feels like you should be able to cast them without components. Not just with it, because then you would need the material components for the spell, which doesn't make it... Because if it's psionics, you shouldn't need a material component for any of these. Yeah, all of these should just be... And they do not require components, just at all. Sword Burst is a fine cantrip. Zephyr Strike, spiritual weapon. That's kind of pushed, but it's not a problem. This is insane. Like this is like not to mention that these d6s would technically be also doubled by the damage. I think. It depends on the wording, I think. Let me check the sword. No. That wording is not like this whole ability is far too much. No, I say all of the wording for this that isn't included in any of these. I'm looking for the reference that I'm trying to find. Is it sort of sharpness? No. What the fuck is it? There's a specific sword that does extra damage on crit. I don't remember what it is. You deleted their spellcasting. You just deleted the Deep Mind spellcasting. Stop. You deleted the spellcasting. Get it back. There's the spellcasting is gone. I think you snagged it with something. Yeah, I'll say they shouldn't be getting a climb speed at all. Like that doesn't account for the climb speed. give them advantage on climbing checks, that's fine, but a climb speed is equivalent to a flying speed. It's not quite as good, but it's 70% of the way there. Like, Aarakocra get nothing for a reason. Like, Aarakocra get flight and a useless natural weapon, and nothing else. Just because, and even then, they're still insane. No, I say they just shouldn't get a flying speed, or a climb speed. Any amount of climb speed is a problem. Give them advantage on checks to climb stuff. Go right ahead. But I say they should probably also get their spellcasting back, because the spellcasting they had was fine. I don't remember specifically what they got, but it was like a non-problem. Whichever one, I can't remember what it was that they got, but where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is this weapon? I don't remember. It's here somewhere. Is it? Maybe it's one of the weapon. It should be to climb difficult. Just to climb surface. You can attempt to climb ceilings. To climb along ceilings. Although you do not. I mean, I would just put you may attempt to climb ceilings, although you have, and you may attempt to climb along ceilings, although you have disadvantage when doing so, which would cancel out. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's vicious weapon. Oh, no. No. That is specifically... Is it... Hang on. I think you're looking for the text of Eyes of the Eagle. But yeah, so the bonus crit ability was far too pushed, but like in essence, like it'd just be like you add your proficiency bonus whenever you score a critical hit. Like whenever you score a critical hit, you may add your proficiency bonus to the damage dealt. Like that's fine, but it like the second you're adding multiple d6s, then it becomes a big problem, especially when you're like a rogue attacking with a dagger. That's like just extra dice for free. But yeah, I say they're like conceptually they're fairly interesting. They're kind of neat. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back to the main task at hand. Okay, right. You have mastered strength enhancement. Oh, shit, fuck that. And oh, there we go, it's fine. You gain the following benefits. Ooh. Oh, that was something I was considering with mental grip. Let me just go. So powerful blast. So I guess we need something that makes this super worth picking, super worth taking to master level. Because taking any power to the master level is a big commitment. Mostly just because once you, like, if you can you can, you know, very safely master one power and it not really cost you anything. Not really cost you any form of versatility. But the second you start mastering, like, 2-3 powers, your options start to become very limited because, you know, once you've mastered 2 powers, you only have 8 more points you can spread out. So you can either go, you know, you can have 4 powers at adept level, you can have like 2 powers at expert level and like 1 at like adept level or something. You start to run out of points pretty quickly. For me personally, the way that I would build this, I would go 2 at master, 3 at expert, and then 1 at adept would probably be the way that I would do it. But it would really depend on like a build to build circumstance, right? But yeah, you have master strength and so far the only thing you really get out of this is you get these 2 abilities, and I feel like that could be, I mean, I know what you should be getting. You should be getting like a big, like, strike. Should be, oh, why the fuck is it red? Unknown, Psi Strike. Oh, I just opened a new document by accident. I pressed Control. Somehow I pressed. Oh, I pressed Control N instead of Control B. That's what I did. Psi Strike. As an action, you can strike forward with your fist, sending out a wave of psychic force, or a wave of can't spell psionic apparently. A psionic force in a 15-foot in a line up to 15 feet wide. Either in a 60-foot long, 5-foot wide line, or in a 30-foot cone. Your choice. Give you that sort of variance. You can either like send out like a punch forward like that, and it goes in a line, or you can do the send it out in a big old cone in front of you. Not sure why I explained that, because I literally just fucking wrote it down, but whatever. Each creature caught in the area must make a strength saving throw. Oh shit. I can't spell today. It's not that I can't spell, I'm just pressing keys out of order. Strength saving throw. On a failure, the creature takes force damage equal to takes and is knocked prone. So you just vroom, and they just bowl over onto the floor like a bunch of idiots. The creature takes half as much damage and is not pushed or knocked prone. Oh, Psyforce Strike. There we go. That's a cool name. That's what we're going for here. It's cool. Oh, just knocked my my mug. Probably taking a break relatively soon to go grab some food because I'm hungry, but got my back. I realized I forgot to do something like of relative importance before I started the stream. It's not a big deal, I can do it afterwards. I did a bunch of work and then didn't finish it, and I'm like, fuck, I need to do that once the stream is over, but oh well, it's not a big deal. So Psyforce Strike is pretty powerful. I don't think it should knock them prone. Just because of, you know, just logistical nonsense. Objects caught in the area. Take objects caught in the area that are not being worn or carried. Take the maximum. Let me go read Shatter, because that's Shatter has this kind of effect where it's object hate. Let me go check Blight, because Blight does... Oh shit. And the effect deals maximum damage to it. Ooh. Oh, it's like stretching my shoulders and stuff. I'm happy with that. I think that's cool. I think that's really interesting. I think the initial damage at 3rd level is a little sad, but... Does maximum damage to it. You know what? You can use this feature twice. Just because it is like the damage is not that high. It caps at 17th level at 48, which is really not a lot. Okay, I'm gonna finish this power. I'll rename this part of the power some other time, just because I can't really be asked to sit and... I might do it over my break, but I'm gonna finish this power and I'm gonna take a break. Is my plan, at least. Just had an idea. I just had an idea. Let me just check something real fast. I know what I'm doing. Let me find what I'm looking for. The Tensors transformation spell, which is one of the best spells in the game, actually, and it is incredibly good. Because it makes you Hulk out, makes you go big mode. Big mode. Advantage on attack rolls, hit with a weapon attack. Weapon attack. Oh, I can just put when you cast Tensors transformation in this way, your psychic blast is considered a martial weapon for the purposes of the spell's effects. So you gain advantage on your attack rolls, and they do an extra 2d12 force damage. Some big damage. It's a big scary damage. Plus, also, if you got weapon meta creation, your thing counts as a simple weapon, with which you can stab people in the throat. Oh, look at that! Wowee! Okay, right, I'm gonna shut up now. So, Apex Mind. Should it be like? I don't know. It's a boring name. It's, I don't know, like Ascendant Body. There we go. There we go. That's what we want. But yeah, you just cast Tensors transformation on yourself, and you go big mode, and slap someone upside the dick or whatever. I don't know. So that is a master level feature on its own. Like, now this is an Avengers level threat. 4 times for Cyfork's Strike. Additionally, you may use this feature as a bonus action rather than as an action. And let me just go grab Quicken Blast. Okay, there we go. So you can, it provides you a little bit of, like, weaving your powers together. Honestly, Tensors Transformation does on its own make this just kind of worth doing, but I do also want to do this. You instead count as 2 sizes larger, just because that seems really funny. Yeah, honestly, I'm super happy with this. It doesn't, like, super lean on just punching people in the face, which is good, and also is kind of fun. I like it. I don't know if it's super good. Like, at level 1, or at novice level, should I say, it's kind of but picking up Powerful Blast in, or the ability, I'm going to change the name because it's a stupid fucking name, but sort of picking it up, like, at 5th level, at novice level, is probably not bad, especially if you're, if you've got weapon meta creation. Basically, this combos really well with weapon meta creation. Also combos really well with energy projection as well. And basically, if you're a if you are a words. If you're a mystic, you're probably going to pick either energy projection or weapon meta creation as your form of damage. There are other options, but those are like the two, and you're probably gonna, at least a novice, well, you're going to at least novice, you're either going to novice energy projection or you're going to take weapon meta creation all the way up to master level. Or you'll master energy projection, but like you don't, like energy projection, picking it up at the novice level is just good. You might as well do it. And at that point, it's like, oh, you might as well adept it. And it's like, oh, well, I might as well expert it. Honestly, I think adepting energy projection is probably the maximum you should do. Anything further than that is like not necessary, but it is very good. I'll say with the race you just posted, I will have a gander at it after my break, because I want to go on a break now, because I'm really fucking hungry. So assuming you'll still be back, or you'll still be here even once I get back in about 15 minutes or so, I will take a gander at that, do a little bit of work on the next power, and then I will need to head off just after 7. But yeah, if folks need to head off now, that's all good. Like Gabby, if you've got to head off, like that's all good. Like I do this every week. Like if you want to stop by and like post it through again, then feel free. But yeah, same. Hope folks are enjoying themselves. If you got to head off, that's all good. If not, I'll see you in probably 10-15 minutes. See you in a minute. pressed the wrong button. There we go. Right. I'm gonna have a quick gander at this. I've had a little bit of a look, and there was a lot going on here. It's not something I can do an in-depth deep dive on in the time that I have, because I want to go back and like start some work on the next power. But greetings, yes. Generally speaking, I think the concept here is really strong. But again, I think it's very much the same as the last I looked at some of your stuff. Is a lot of this would benefit from a better understanding of the way the game works. And just the general standards of design found within the game, which will be gained naturally by playing and GMing the game more. Generally, like the 5e style guide, again, like, I don't know if you read it or not. If you haven't, do. And this goes for everybody, by the way, who wants to be doing anything like this at all. I need to clear my throat, fuck me. The 5e style guide, read all the material from, I'm not talking like read the DMG cover to cover. I'm talking go through all the classes, go through all the subclasses, find how they do things, how they format things. You don't have to remember all of it, but what you do need to remember is where to look to find stuff you're looking for. Okay, right, I'll say, I will start from the top. I've had a gander at this over my break. I was like eating some food, and I've had a sort of a quick scan through to get a general gist, and there's a lot going on, so it's not something I can do like a deep analysis of in the time that I have allowed to me, or a time I have allotted. But yeah, I'd say there's strong ideas here. There's conceptually a very strong idea, but there's a lot of like things that don't seem very in keeping with the design of the way the game is written. And sort of the standards of how abilities are written, about how certain things are worded. And I was sort of reiterating something that I think I said last time, I'm not sure. But if you haven't read it, and this goes for everybody, the 5th edition style guide, you can find it online for free. I believe it is called the... Let me try and... D&D 5e style guide. Okay. This is it. It is free. It is the style guide. The style guide has a lot of... it basically has everything you could want to know about the standards of how to write for the game. And then to go on top of that, basically go through... it's you don't steal content from it. It's a standard of how the game is written. And I would assume so, but that is the official style guide. Basically, you read the style guide and or spend years deducing it from just playing the game like I did. Though reading the style guide is a much faster way of doing it. Of how the game is formatted, what kinds of things are indicative of being included in the game and what aren't. The way abilities should be worded, the way they shouldn't be worded, or more specifically, the way they should be, and if it doesn't say that you word them this way, then generally speaking, you don't do it. On top of that, is basically just the idea of going through all of the character creation options and just seeing how they're read, or how they're written. Like, how are they written? How much damage does this ability do? How many uses does this kind of ability have? And you can learn this ability organically over years of playing the game, but you can also just read, the PHB, read Xanathars, read Tashas, and you don't need to read the books cover to cover. Go through a bunch of the spells. How are the spells worded? For something like this, go through all of the races, see how they're worded. Go through a lot of high quality homebrew stuff, see how that's worded. Because a lot of, and the same goes for formatting. The style guide is a mixture of wording and formatting, and it tells you how to do both of it, and it's wonderful. And certainly when you know, I think I said this last time, I don't remember, but I am an editor. Like on the side, that's one of the things I do within the community is I am an editor. I write, and I prefer to write, but I am also an editor. And you know, occasionally people will show stuff on stream, which, you know, I will just take a quick gander at for nothing. It's, you know, the cost of 5-10 minutes of my time, whatever, I don't care. But if someone, you know, were to, you know, pay me or give me a royalty share to properly sit down and spend several hours, or not even necessarily several hours, but an extended time deep analyzing a piece of design, something that sort of alarms me, so to speak, from the get-go, is when I appear, and, you know, I load up a Google Doc, or I load up, you know, whatever they've written it in, and I'm seeing, like, formatting problems, problems with wording and phrasing and alphabetizing things and capitalization, not like grammar stuff. That's a whole separate thing. That's whatever. Like, someone can be barely literate and still make an interesting piece of design. You know, they could spell literally every word in the doc wrong, but as long as the words are formatted right, it doesn't matter, right? As long as you know, it doesn't matter. But the, you know, sort of appearing and seeing very unnatural wording for the system is perturbing, because it usually means that the person in question, doesn't know the system all that well. And that isn't always true. Some people just don't give a shit about the formatting, and they're really great designers, but they'll just do whatever with the formatting and expect someone else to fix it, which is a problem. They shouldn't be doing that. They should learn the fucking formatting. But, because it's not the editor's job to do that. Speaking of having to do more than one editing job, where I have been lumped with formatting everything. I've been handed notes and had to make a finished product out of them. It's not fun. But, and I'm sure many editors have much worse horror stories than I could ever muster. Far more experience than I, tenfold. So, but yeah, generally, you know, when you're working on stuff, become as familiar as you can be. Sort of like, from what I'm reading, all of these abilities make sense. Like, all of them make sense to me. I understand what it is that they do, but a lot of them are not indicative of the way the game's designed. A lot of weird wording choices and like formatting problems that you would never see written in the books. And that's not, you know, that doesn't, you know, that's not like, oh, this is bad. It's like, no, it isn't. But it does hurt its readability to someone who, like myself, is very used to, you know, writing this. Like, you know, I'm not perfect with a style guide. No one is. Anyone who says there is probably either delusional or lying. It's the classic, I don't need an editor kind of thing. You know, which I think lots of people, myself included, have been guilty of in the past. I don't need an editor is a phrase for either the stupid, the delusional, or the very, very poor. Usually a combination of all three. But the I've completely lost myself making a joke about again, it's just with system experience. The more look at the abilities that you've got and cross-reference them with stuff you know exists in the game. Go, how does this thing do it? You know, the Mimicoids can transform into stuff. Okay, how does polymorph word this ability? Again, like, it's 100% doable. Like, this is just, you know, like, I wouldn't have, you know, led with this is a strong concept if I thought it just fundamentally didn't work, because it does. Like, mechanically speaking, whilst I haven't, like, gone through literally all of it, this works. Like it functions. It's not fundamentally broken. There's nothing wrong with it in that sense. And if you're using it with your home game, then it's probably fine. Realistically, as long as the things that you do aren't obscenely broken or just completely useless, anything can be fine in a home game. But if it's something you would want to put in a book and release, then that requires a next step up level of game knowledge to make something that is cohesive with all mechanics within the context of the game. And any kind of transformation is going to come with weird edge cases. Like, when you transform into something, are you no longer a creature? Are you an object at that point? Are you not? Does the ability reference that? It seems here that you turn into an object, which means that things that target creatures can't target you because you're not an object anymore, which isn't how mimics the creature work. If anything, this race should work the same way a mimic does in the books, as being able to just turn into a specified, object, but still be a mimic. When a mimic turns into a table, it doesn't stop being a creature. It's still a mimic. It's just in the shape of a table. That's the kind of the greater understanding you have of the game and formatting and all of the rules in between, the more cohesive and coherent you'll be able to make things that you create. This is a strong idea. I'm a fan. Like mimic people. That sounds fun. And in a home game, even without doing a big old deep dive on it, I can say with a relative degree of assurance, in a home game, sure, go for it. Like, as it stands right now, it's probably fine. Most things are. But if you're planning on putting this in a book, and releasing it in any capacity, which to my understanding you are, I may be wrong, I don't know. I don't know for sure, I don't know what your intentions are, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth. But if that is your intention, then there is some greater system knowledge that is required for that to work. Yeah, I say it. All forms of design, and as a general rule, and this goes for all creative pursuits of any kind. Whether you're an artist, you're a musician, you're a games designer, whatever, it doesn't matter. Everything you make to start with, you might have some amazing ideas, but right at the start, the things you make will be bad. You will have great ideas, I don't doubt that, because I had great ideas, and I still do have great ideas, and so does everybody else. But the things I made when I started were shit, undeniably so. Much this is cool, I like this. And it functions. The stuff I made when I was starting just didn't function. It was terrible. It was that bad. Because I started before I even had played the fucking game, which is... I'm sure a lot of people have made that mistake of designing stuff for a game they've not fucking played. I think there's a lot of people who've made a lot of money on books. Books that you can buy in print from people who have never played the game. And thus those books are shit. I can think of one very, very popular book written by someone who doesn't know how to play the game, and it's a terrible, unusable book. It's a very popular one, though. Very, very popular, but it's awful. And realistically, the main thing is sort of recognizing that initial point of looking back at something you made a year ago and going, that's bad, I'm gonna make it better. I do it all the time. Like this last year, it's been a year and a half now, I have been going through and redesigning all of the homebrew, and there's a lot of it that I've introduced into my home game. I've spent a year and a half doing it, on and off. It's something like a full-time endeavor, but that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half at this point, more than that. I think I properly started in January 2020. I say it's there is a lot of yeah, I say that's just how it is. You know, the stuff you make when you start will be shit, and then the second thing you make will be shit. It will be less shit, but it will still be shit. The third thing you make will be shit. It'll be less shit, but it will still be shit. And you will get to iteration 20, 25, 30 of whatever it is you're doing. It does help to swap between projects as well. Like, if you do 20 iterations of the same thing, your investment will lose its returns. Like, your return investment will decrease. You gotta, like, mix it up a little bit. Now, that was certainly my experience anyway. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be yours or anybody else's. But I certainly made a lot of different things, and that helped me get just a lot better. Playing the game, everything in 5th edition I think is wonderful, because 5th edition really, like with some exception, 5th edition does really live up to the it does what it says it does kind of attitude. I think that's great. It's not obscene. It's not obscenely complex, but more or less every edge case can be ruled away with the every question you could ever ask about 5th edition can be answered. Does it say it does? If it doesn't say that it does, then it doesn't, and that is almost exclusively the rule. And obviously, there's a bit of remembering what things say. That's a whole separate thing. But 5th edition does a very good job of that, and being able to reflect that in your writing is very important to sort of fall in line with the system's standards of formatting and design. The more familiar you become with the game, the more familiar you become with the system, the more familiar you become with the formatting of that system. Expose yourself to as much of it as you can. Like, read all the player options if you have to. Like if you sit down and right, I'm gonna read all the players' options in Tasha's, for instance. Another thing is make friends with a min-maxer, because they are so goddamn useful. Every time I make anything busted, Joe takes one look at it and goes, yeah, this is busted for these reasons, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because he usually is. That's my joke answer. Because meeting someone to fill an arbitrary demographic is not necessarily feasible, but basically familiarity, research, because a lot of the only way you can fail as a designer, as a creative or as a creative in general, is by assuming everything that you have made is just good. It's just good because you made it, and because, speaking from plenty of personal experience, good ideas are not always good, and even when you have a good idea, that doesn't always result in a finished product. If the idea is good and the product is not, then the whole thing is bad. I think it functions. But again, there are a lot of edge cases. There are a lot of bringing it up to the official design of the way the game works. I feel like the sub-races are kind of unnecessary. Like, if you just want to make a mimic as a race, then I feel like a lot of the stuff from the monster manual, the way the mimic works in the book, would probably make a lot more sense of just doing that instead. Making a medium mimic that has, a limited ability to turn into maybe one specific object for the sake of balance, right? You choose the object when you choose the race. And you can change your coloration. You can turn into a vase whenever you want, but you can choose to be a big flowery china vase, or you can choose to be just a clay pot, or whatever. I don't know. The zeros are all just ideas to throw around, but I feel like for me, the sort of the big flaw, so to speak, with this is a point of overcomplication. It's the idea that every race needs sub-races, when in reality, some races just don't. Even the PHB is guilty of this. dwarves don't need subraces, but they have them. Halflings don't need subraces, but they have them. Like, you know, most of the races... Well, I say most of the races. Some races need them, and some really don't, and I would argue that this doesn't. You know, you just pick an object that's your size or smaller, for example, and you can turn into any visual variation of that object that you choose. If you choose to turn into a chest of drawers, you can turn into a chest of drawers made of any material that you want, but under the surface, you're still a creature, you're still you still have all your capabilities, you're still, you know, maybe you can't move or cast spells when you're an object, or maybe you can't even take actions when you're an object, except the action to turn back into yourself. Or your natural weapon that you have here, which I think is, you know, is appropriate. You're a mimic, of course you have a natural weapon. It's your pseudopod, which is probably what this ability should be called, because mimics have pseudopods. Alternatively, it could also be a bite. I think that works too. But yeah, I think on the subject of this design, I think it's unnecessarily complex. It doesn't need subraces. You can literally just have 4 abilities and that'd be the race, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of races would be better if they were just that, like dwarves and halflings, but they're not. And instead, you have 2 options for both of those races, and one of them is just objectively better than the other, so you always pick that one. Without the necessary context of knowing exactly what these people said, I can't provide any particular comment on that. But again, I think, I think ultimately, your best bet is coming in and making a version that is a list of 4 abilities, and go check how mimics work. Go triple check everywhere you can find to find the standard of design, so that you can base your ideas off of stuff that's already in the game and by extension probably works, makes sense, is within the formatting requirements of the game. All those little things that make things so much more readable, because when you're like me, or really anybody else who's fairly well versed in the game, you're pretty much hardwired to read D&D rules text. When you find something that doesn't really fit in that rules text, it throws you through a loop and immediately makes it more complex to understand, even if it isn't actually harder at all. It just instantaneously makes it more difficult to grasp. But yeah, I think I've prattled on for a while, but generally speaking, read the style guide, 100% read the style guide, and read as much of the material from the game as you can. Every time you become more familiar with the way the game works and the game is written, everything you make will be better. As a rule, I know this is true. Speaking from ample experience of every time my game knowledge has improved, both the ideas I've had, the things I've made, and the quality of the things that have been made have increased pretty much 1-to-1. You start, your game knowledge is at whatever level it is, your design will be at that level, probably below. The more your game knowledge increases, the better your design will be. As long as you try to keep your design to the standard of your game knowledge. You're not always going to succeed, but if you can, then you go for it, right? But either way, I've prattled on for far too long. I need to get going now, because I have a game to go to in negative 10 minutes. But yes, same. That's good luck with this, because I do really like this idea. Being a mimic is pretty sick. I'm on board. I will be actively very invested in whatever this ends up being. And very much the same can be said for the Witch, if I remember. I'm 90% certain. That was because I'm terrible with Twitch names. I'm like 99% certain that was yours, right? The witch, like the. Yeah, I thought so, but I wasn't gonna commit until I knew. You know, I looked like a bit of a fucking idiot. I was like, oh yeah, that was you, and you're like, no. But yeah, the like I'm invested to see where those are in X amount of time. You know, when you get to version whatever it is, where you go, okay, I think this can sit in the PHB or in Xanathar's or Tasha's or whatever, and be an equal. Whenever you think you're at that level, or whatever, I'm very invested to see what that looks like. Because, like I said, like everybody has good ideas, and it is only the people who put in the time to learn how to make those ideas into a like cohesive reality that make cool shit. Because yeah, like I don't know, I've waxed about like game design for 20 minutes now. I need to get going. To get a huge amount done on Mystic, but that's not really a big deal. I will get some more time. I'm getting a lot more time to stream in the next couple of weeks because holidays end and social obligations cease. Oh, well, they don't cease, but you know, they reduce in number. Ugh. But either way, I'm going to head off now. I will be back on Thursday to do some writing, because I want to write another one of those characters for my NPC book. But thank you very much for those who stuck about. I will hopefully see you guys in a few days. See you.